Welcome back to Upper Michigan Today, everybody. We are diving into the topic of New Year's health resolutions. Elizabeth, I know for you, you don't necessarily like to make resolutions.
Yeah.
It's more lifestyle changes that you can look at the whole year, but I know a lot of people do like to make
very specific goals. Yeah.
Very specific goals. And I did a little bit of research this morning, and here's what I found for the top New Year's resolutions pertaining to health and wellness. So 1, drink more water. Shout out Jamie Thayer, and she would love that one. I mean, that's a great one.
Yeah, it is.
Commit to weekly yoga class. Start consistent workout routine, practice mindfulness and meditation, learn to cook healthy meals, take daily walks.
These are all
Improve
great.
Posture. Get 8 hours of sleep a
that's
night.
on my list.
That's been on my list forever.
Oh, same. As I got 4 hours last night. Yeah.
Try a new sport or activity.
Yeah, these are wonderful. These aren't too specific to me. So let's find out if they are too specific.
I mean, I guess we shall. We're joined now by Don Lundin, a registered dietitian, and Sarah Santiago, a licensed therapist. So thanks for joining us in the studio this morning to talk about being healthy, setting healthy goals, and then making sure that they stay healthy, that we stay healthy. What exactly does it mean to set a healthy goal? What is a healthy goal? Either one of you can answer.
What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Well, honestly, I was a little nervous with the list. This was the first time we had seen it, and I don't know how you feel. I'm impressed. I think those are great.
I do too.
Yeah. But I guess, you know, on the mental health side of things, really a healthy goal is going to be really individual to each person. And so as long as it's not chipping away at your quality of life, it feels realistic, attainable. It's the kind of goal that if, you know, something happens, you have room for flexibility. I think that really rigid goals that are biting off more than we can chew are just sort of setting us up for failure, and really research shows that that can also be a detriment to us when we fall off the bandwagon, or, you know, if there is no room for flexibility in there.
Yeah, from a nutrition side, I definitely agree. Like the two examples that I think were really great is like drink more water or eat more plant-based meals. It's not saying I'm gonna eat 7 plant-based meals a week, or I'm gonna drink 3 liters of water. Sometimes we can think that that very specific goal is gonna be helpful, and actually, like Sarah mentioned, it can actually really put us into this black and white thinking of like, if I don't hit this number, then I'm bad. And that kind of ties into the topic that we're gonna talk more about when healthy can become too healthy. And so giving ourselves some flexibility can be a really great way to have a New Year's resolution that's not going to potentially be harmful.
Yeah. So is it okay, you know, for me, I like to have a hard goal. If I'm gonna set a goal, I like it to be, I'm going to drink X amount of ounces of water, so that I have something to strive for, because otherwise I'd be like, well, I had a half a cup. Life's good,
more,
right? Like that was more than I had yesterday, but which I guess is success in some ways. But then giving yourself the flexibility to go, okay, that's a big goal, but if I'm somewhere in this range, I kind of like the idea of a range. You know, I'm going to use the water example. So 64 to 120 ounces, right? Like you have room to kind of expand. And like today, oh, I nailed the top one, and tomorrow, well, I just did the bottom level, but that's still okay.
Yeah, I think you nailed it with that word flexibility, right? And I always say, and what Sarah kind of mentioned, is that like those goals are very individualized. And so it's not setting your goal to be this unrealistic number, right? So if we were working together and trying to set this goal range for water intake, we would want the bottom of that range to be at like, what can you attain most days?
Sure.
Right? So that you're feeling like you're able to meet this goal. We're not going to set it at a half a cup a day, right? Water, right?
Yeah.
But so like I always kind of think about like, what can you do 75% of the time, right? That's kind of like a really great benchmark, because then you're making sure that you're meeting those needs on most days. You're also getting that positive feedback of feeling like you're working towards your goal. Because say if you're always trying to strive for that top number, well, then the days that you don't hit that number can feel bummed out about it.
Sure.
And even if we're not hitting those numbers, not meeting our goals every single day. We're only human. We deserve to give ourselves grace and compassion. And I feel like that can be really important too, in just seeing success with our goals in the long run. But there comes a point you mentioned where it can become obsessive. These goals that we have in mind can become unhealthy. So I think this is a good place to take a break. And when we come back, we'll dive into that, what it looks like when healthy might become a bit unhealthy.